Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the spirit of Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom to y'all brothers and sisters out there, to the Akim listening. Salutations to all the 12 tribes that scattered abroad. Peace and blessings to y'all. Alright, I'm gonna do a little a little recap on this thing. Because I've been keeping up with this story with Hong Kong lately. I've been paying close attention to it. So what you got right now? You got you got uproars. You got risings and sedition among men. You know what I'm saying? You got uproars of the people, as it is written, and you got to pay close attention to these prophecies that's kicking off right now. And one of the things that really points it out the is the fact that the scriptures say that Babylon is going to be hated. That whore that sits on many waters is going to be hated, and and this is exactly why she's being hated right now, because she's in everybody's business. America is in everybody's business, and one of the things that gives it away every time when you see these things is if there's America that has a stamp anywhere. What's going on right now with Hong Kong? You got these riots that's taking place, and it's just been bloody and brutal. You know what I'm saying? Now it was supposed to be about some bogus legislation at first, but then it morphed into everything else that doesn't really make any sense to anybody that's paying attention. Like it seemed to come out of nowhere, and that's one of the things that you got to really look at is when something just springs up out of nowhere, some uprising. You gotta know who it is. You gotta know who's behind it all. How the protests in Iran are taking place right now. The protests in Iraq are taking place. Think about that. What happened in Iraq? The Iraqi government has they decided to kick America out. Said no, y'all can't stay here no more. Y'all been here long enough. Y'all done destroyed the infrastructure, everything long enough. So please go back home. And the moment they said that, like what, maybe 2 weeks later, uproars of the people all over. All these protests out of nowhere. And so now America's using that as an excuse. Okay, well, we got to stay here because this is becoming chaotic again. You know what I'm saying? And then what's going on with Iran? Iran, out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't seem to be that much of a difference what was going on with the Ayatollah. With the Ayatollah or anything. Everybody seemed to be in unity, but then all of a sudden, bam. Everybody's got protests going on. So here's one thing here's a major eye opener that's going on with Hong Kong right now. Because what's Hong Kong doing? Hong Kong is becoming the greatest superpower in terms of economics, and on is on track to basically take America down economically, dethrone America, starting all kinds of businesses and commerce with all these other competitors, and America is just being left in the dust. So clearly, it's in America's interest to topple the Hong Kong government. And here we have it. So let's play this a little bit. And let's see what's going on, because these jokers is showing their hands. Like they got these jokers chanting, "Make Hong Kong great again." This boy. I'm gonna get some scriptures after this. So what you basically got there is America is clearly behind this, clearly. And what happened in Iran is that they actually found eight members of the CIA that was involved in these protests, but they were pretending to be journalists. And so let's see what's going to happen, because I told multiple people, I asked the question, like, what do you think is going to happen when they find out that America's behind this? Everybody's going to be against Babylon. Everybody's going to be fighting against her. So let's see. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9. It says, "Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations." All the kings of the nations about to come after this place, because they don't mind they don't mind their business. They never mind their business. America never stays in its own lands. And we know who does that. We know who runs that. It's Esau. Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? Esau Edom. They roll like that. They roll like that. This is Jeremiah chapter 51. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad." Clearly, these jokers are all manner drunk with what they got. They got over there chanting, "Make Hong Kong great again." You know what's gonna happen with the People's Republic of China. You know what's gonna take place. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. There's one more script. I'm gonna get one more script on this one. So this is Revelations 11 and 18. "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." And that's all that America's been doing. That's all that Edom has been doing. Destroying the earth. From sea to shining sea. And that's how America gets down. That's how America gets down. America tears down everybody's economies. They steal their resources. They make their currencies the de facto currency, the reserve currency. You can't do nothing without their say so. And now you have all these nations that are going after it, that are destroying this dollar. You know what I'm saying? All this uproar, all this talk about Brexit right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's against this place. Everybody's about to topple this dollar. It's going to be gone. Russia is on board with this. China's on board with this. Pakistan's on board with this. And India. Everybody's on board with this. It's time to ditch this. It's time to ditch this bad boy. That dollar's going to be gone. The only alternative is one thing. It's war. That's the only alternative for America. because that's the only strategy that's left. Every time something happens that don't end in their favor, and they have nowhere else to go, they will resort to their blessing. These Edomites will resort to their blessing, the sword, and they shall live by it, and they're gonna die by it. All right. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Honor and respect to the brothers that's pushing the work all around. No matter what camp you in, I give honors to y'all brothers, and I thank the Most High that He's pushing the spirit out to all the 12 tribes abroad. It's time for us to wake up. All right, Shalom.